Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I'm Ryan Boland. Thank you all for joining me. What I want to talk about in this video is something that I normally do not talk about in this video because the subject matter is not really a part of the paradigm of what I usually talk about. I usually talk about politics and some pop stuff, because I feel that pop culture that's where it's at, and politicians need to be more, especially Republican politicians and conservatives need to be more in touch with what's going on in the pop culture so that they can influence more people. But at any rate, what I want to deal with in this particular video, you could say it's somewhat pop, but then again, maybe it's not because there are some spiritual elements here. So you could kind of argue that maybe it's a combination of pop culture and spirituality. Now, having said that, what I want to cover in this video is a very interesting article from Breitbart News in reference to pop sensation Taylor Swift. And accordingly, there is a Irish singer that essentially said that Taylor Swift is performing satanic rituals in her music and may not even know it. Okay. Now, why am I doing this video? You may be saying something with talking about satanic rituals and so forth. Because about a day or so ago, I did a 1-minute video on Dolly Parton congratulating Beyonce for her #1 country song that debuted at #1 on the country billboards. Okay. And I basically was like, kind of asked the rhetorical question, why is it that Beyonce is so scantily dressed in the video? Because I actually listened to the video. I actually listened to the song. It's like 3 or 4 minutes long. Said it was a pretty catchy beat. Didn't sound too bad. Okay, I get it. But then I asked the question, why was she dressed the way she was dressed? She was dressed very provocatively in the video. But because it was a 1-minute video, I could not elaborate like I want to. In this video, in conjunction, rather, with the Taylor Swift debacle, I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing this video, okay? Because there's a connection here, and I think that this connection is not good. So let's get right into this article. I know this may be out of tone for some people, but I'm going to try to be as professional as I possibly can, okay? Pop star Taylor Swift has been accused of performing EIC rituals. I think that may be pronounced EC rituals. EIC. Correct me in the comment box if you know what that means or exactly how to pronounce that. At her concerts during her Eras tour by Irish singer Shane Lynch, who said that, quote, the bad blood singer might not even realize what she's doing. He says, I think when you're looking at a lot of the artists out there, a lot of their stage shows are satanic rituals live in front of 20,000 people without them realizing and recognizing, Lynch told Ireland's Sunday World. And what's interesting about that, I'll make a quick comment right here about this. What's interesting about that is that I have been reading up a lot on this very subject from researchers who have researched and covered this type of topic extensively. And I've read up on their books about this. And I personally am convinced that perhaps a lot of these artists like Lady Gaga, Beyonce, all of these, almost all of them are performing these satanic rituals on stage and they don't even know it. It's not like maybe, they're, Luciferians or Satanists themselves, but it may be that the record company is putting them out there, writing the lyrics for them, putting them out there on stage, saying, put this on the stage, put that on the stage, do this and do that. When in reality, the marketeers and the handlers, if you will, are fully aware of what they are doing, even at the behest of the musician. Musician may not know what they're doing, but those who control it behind the scenes knows exactly what these rituals represent. Okay, so yeah. I believe I believe in what he's saying here. He says that they're doing this live in front of 20,000 people without them realizing and recognizing. So I do agree with that. The former singer added, "You will see a lot of hoods up and masks on and fire ceremonies." Interesting, right? Why do you see that? Why do you see that? Why do you see a lot of hoods up and masks on and fire ceremonies in these concerts? Now, someone may argue, what, in the rock and roll concerts, there was a lot of this kind of stuff too. That was true to some extent, but it is not as intensive and in your face as it is now. Okay. Now I'm trying to go as slow as I can with this, but speeding it up a little bit in certain areas, because I really want to touch on some topics here that some of you that are listening to this may have some different thoughts about. Okay. Some of you may be atheists. Some of you may be agnostic, but I'm going to explain what all this, I'm going to explain this in a little bit. Okay. So just hold on to your hats here. But something's going on. Why are they doing this? Why are these artists and people in the audience wearing hoods and masks and fire ceremonies? What's going on here? Is it all due to artistry? Is it all about having fun? You can be an artist and have fun without doing rituals. If in fact this is what's going on stage, which in my personal opinion, I believe a lot of it is. Okay. And I'm going to give you the details of what I believe is going on here, and what I believe in terms of those who are in the higher ups actually believe in. But let's go on. Even down to Taylor Swift, the man says, one of the biggest artists in the world. You watch one of her shows and she has 2 to 3 different demonic rituals to do with the pentagrams on the ground. Wow. To do with all sorts of stuff on her stage, he said. But to a lot of people, it's just art. And that's how people are seeing it, unfortunately, Lynch added. Absolutely. A lot of people see it as what? Art. It's just art. But think about that. It's just art. Pentagrams on the ground? That's art? Are you serious? That's art? You consider pentagrams on the ground as art? Any occultist would know what the pentagrams represent. So if an occultist was attending one of these concerts and they see these pentagrams, they see it more than just art. Okay, pentagrams hold great power in the world of the occult. So is it just art? I don't think so. Maybe perhaps to the performing artists who may not be fully aware of what they're doing or the repercussions of it or the reality of it. But for those who understand that world, they know exactly what the pentagrams represent. So is it just art? I don't think so. Let's go on. The Christian also told Sunday World that certain music is a danger to society because musicians are channeling the devil right before everyone's eyes. Now, here I want to say something about this. Now, some of you may be watching this and saying, man, I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in spirituality. I don't believe in demons and devils. I don't believe in you people are crazy to believe in some man walking around with a pitchfork and horns. That's just crazy. That's a myth. Okay, I get it. That's what you believe, and I respect that. I would not push my beliefs on anyone. I say that on my job all the time. I would not push my beliefs on anyone. But here's the deal. You might not believe in this type of stuff, but some of the most intelligent, highly educated, powerful people in the world believe in Satan. The people at the very top of the pyramid on the back of your dollar bill that you use to buy whatever you want to buy is not there just to look cute. That pyramid is there, and I'm not going to go into the details here, but that pyramid on the back of your dollar bill is there for a reason. It's not just there to look cute. That pyramid represents occultic concepts. Okay? And at the top of that pyramid, which in some sense of the word represents a hierarchy, is those who are at the highest levels of the occult, who control our monetary system, our educational system, even to the religious areas in our society, the political system, they control, an entertainment industry, they control it all. The higher you go up to the pyramid on the back of your dollar bill, the more powerful the people are. And guess who represents the lower part at the very bottom? You and I. We're the slaves in this system. So when you say, I don't believe in the devil, I don't be no man walking on a pitchfork and horns, I respect that. But guess what? The people at the top who control the educational systems, they're the ones have been the ones that have conditioned you and other people to not believe in God and not believe in the supernatural. Because where do we get the concept from? Where do we get this idea of atheism from? No offense to anyone that may be an atheist. I'm not attacking you. But I'm just saying, for the most part, where do we get the idea that Satan doesn't exist and God doesn't exist? In part, if not mostly, from our school systems. Our school systems, when they removed the Bible and prayer out of the schools, they replace it with the theory of evolution and other non-spiritual belief systems. But at the same time, these very people themselves were connected and are connected to these very powerful spiritual forces. Now, you may be saying, why would they do that? Why would they tell us God and Satan doesn't exist and yet they still believe in him? To keep you dumbed down, to keep you ignorant. That's a way of controlling you. One of the ways in which these people control us is by limiting the access to information. The information is all the way at the top of the pyramid. The lower you go down, the less information there is. But I could go on and on with this, okay? So this whole idea of, man, you people crazy because you believe in the devil, you believe in demons and all this kind of stuff. The most powerful people in the industry believes in Satan. And let me say something else about this too. These people do not see Satan or Lucifer the way Christians see Satan or Lucifer. They believe, okay, that Lucifer or the devil or Satan, whichever one you would like to call him, we would just say Lucifer because that's what many of them prefer to call him, is that they believe that he is the bringer of wisdom and light. In fact, the word Lucifer means enlightened one. It means light bearer. And what Luciferians and occultists believe in particular subsections of the occult is that Lucifer came to set humanity free from the Christian dirge, the God that they feel that Christians are worshiping, they believe to be the false God. And that they believe that Lucifer is the true God, that he came to set mankind free, to liberate them. Now you may be saying, how is that? The Bible teaches that fornication is a sin. Sex before marriage is a sin. Sexual immorality is a sin. All forms of sexual immorality, the Bible teaches, is a sin. Those who are a part of these occultic belief systems at the higher ups believe that is suppressing you, that is enslaving you, that if you have a desire to do these things, you should be allowed to do them to the fullest extent. Let that define you. This is what they believe. And that this idea of God saying this is a sin, to them, it's evil. To them, it's suppressing the real nature or the real natural inclinations within you. And they believe that Lucifer came to set people free. But where is that getting us? I mean, I ain't trying to preach here, but where is that so-called freedom getting us? Where is sexual immorality getting us? Where is violence getting us? Where is let everything go getting us on a moral basis? Do I need to explain that? I just want to elaborate on that a little bit here to make people understand. You may not believe in him, but they do. They do. And they worship him. And they are in contact with him. But let's go on. Lynch also noted that he had personally seen satanic rituals during his time in the music industry that involved praying over albums to ensure they are successful. Listen to that. Praying over albums to ensure they are successful? Who are these people praying to? They're not praying to Jesus. They're praying to Lucifer. Why would you pray to something that is not real? They believe he's real. These highly educated, intelligent people, way more intelligent and educated than we are, because they have access to information that would blow your mind. They have access to ancient technologies that you would think come from a science fiction movie. So they are highly educated, highly intellectual, but yet they believe in this concept, or this being rather, called Lucifer. And they pray over the albums to ensure they are successful. Clearly, they must believe that he exists if they're going to pray over the albums to be successful. This is what's going on. This man is claiming he has seen this. Okay. The former singer went on to say that he himself has stopped listening to certain music, as he believes that particular beats can have an impact on people. And he's absolutely right. I've been reading up on this from other researchers that have dug, like I said earlier, intensely deeper into this project. And they have given the documentation and evidence that supports that idea that certain beats in this music do have an effect on people. Let's go on. When it comes to a lot of the music that's out there at the moment, more the hip hop side of things, there's a lot of hidden satanic and a lot of evil within them, including down to the beats. It's very real. He said he's absolutely right. It's very real. I have seen how people act with a lot of this rap music today and the beats. I have seen how people act. They act like they're just losing their minds, that they're going crazy. And I personally believe that there is something spiritually demonic about it. They are inviting these spirits into themselves because they are partaking of these rituals. And when you partake of these rituals, you invite these spirits into yourself, and it changes your mind. It changes your soul. It changes your emotion. Let's go on. Music attaches to your emotions, Lynch added. See, there you go. I wasn't even thinking about that. Music attaches to your emotions, Lynch added. He's absolutely right. Whether it's good music or whether it's bad music or positive music or not positive music, it affects your emotions. Lynch added, it has a connection to your spirit and how you feel. That's why I've stopped listening to those types of music myself, because it doesn't suit my spirit. Lynch also claimed that certain music is damaging to society in general, especially when it comes to children. Oh man, we don't even need to talk about that, do we? He says, it 100% has an effect on society, he said. I think our society has never been worse in many areas, and it starts from our children. He's absolutely right about that. As I said, I've seen this happening, particularly among a lot of young people that I deal with all the time at my job in downtown Cleveland. When they're listening to this music, their attitude is different. I can see the expressions on their face. It's almost like they're not there. The lyrics are exploitive to the highest degree. But let's go on, because I want to touch a little bit on this Beyonce connection. It's coming in right at our children from the very beginning to get them to sway away from anything godly, anything controlled or disciplined, Lynch added. It's getting wilder and wilder out there for a reason. This is not the first time Lynch has made this type of claim. Last year, the singer said that Sam Smith and Beyonce are, quote, so demonic, it's unbelievable. And that's the end of that article right there. That's what I wanted to speak on just a couple of minutes here, because this video has gone longer than it should. When he made the comment about Sam Smith and Beyonce in particular. Sam Smith, I don't know hardly nothing about him, but Beyonce I'm more familiar with. He says it's so demonic, it's unbelievable. Now, here's what I want to talk about as well in the connection. In the 1 minute video with Beyonce being dressed provocatively, singing a country song. Okay, now some of them argue, well, there's been country songs where people have dressed provocatively, not like this. Everybody knows, okay, that Beyonce dresses very provocatively. She's a beautiful woman. She's sexy. I mean, you want to call it that, raunchy, whichever one. Everybody knows that. What I have been seeing from her recently is that her last concert, I think was the concert she did, the Renaissance, had some things going on that was extremely demonic and highly overtly sexual. What's up with all the sexuality? Do you need to be that sexually provocative to make good music? I don't think so. I think that that's there to keep people in a sensual state so that it is easier to subliminally control them with words that change their mind on a subconscious level. When you all lusty and all you just lusty, you full of lust, man. You ain't thinking about nothing. You're not going to think straight. You're just not. Now, what am I referring to in Beyonce with the Renaissance concert thing? I cannot remember exactly where she was at. I don't know if she was in America or she went somewhere else with the Renaissance concert, somewhere in Europe. But there's this entry point where the people enter in to pay the tickets or whatever, and it's a set of legs going up. Like it's like a woman laying down on her back and her legs up like she's giving birth. And it's a set of legs going up and they're gapped open. And of course, right in the middle where her private part is supposed to be, that's the door. Now, somebody may be chuckling right now like, this guy, but really, are you serious? What does that symbolize? What does that mean? Is that supposed to be sexy? Is that supposed to be sensual and sexy? I don't see that as sexy. I see that as wildly in your face demonic. I see that as a manipulative way of controlling you. Now, here's the thing with on a baser level. Excuse me. Now, here's the thing with Beyonce too. She may not be aware that what she's doing is demonic. And in fact, in my opinion, I believe she's a Manchurian candidate. But I ain't gonna go far into that. Somebody said, what in the world are you talking about? I'm not, well, I won't say Manchurian. I say monarch slave victim. That's what I'm not, Manchurian candidate, but a monarch victim. But I'm not finna go into that in this video. Probably shouldn't have said that. It'll probably flag me for that. I think she's controlled and manipulated. I don't think she's fully aware of everything she's doing. I believe that Beyonce is demonically, if not possessed, she's oppressed by demonic spirits. I've seen her one time. She was sitting in a Grammy somewhere. I think it was a Grammy Award some years ago, and the camera horned in on her, and she was sitting next to Jay-Z, and she was doing this, blotting her eyes and bugging her eyes, and there was no music playing. It wasn't like any music was playing. She was getting her groove on. What's up with that? I mean, I don't mean that, I'm not reading into that like, well, maybe she has something in her eye. But if you would have seen it, you wouldn't have thought, well, she got something in her eye. I think she's being afflicted. Something's going through her brain at that moment. But anyway, the whole thing going back to this video that she did with this country song, I think Texas Get 'Em, something like that, with her dress like that. I believe, in my opinion, okay, that her reasoning in doing this song, and when I say her reasoning, maybe I'm being a little bit too forward here. I would rather say, let me rephrase it. I won't say her reasoning. I will say her controller's reasoning, okay, is to further corrupt country music. Because even though country music, as I said in the 1 minute video, is not the most saintly, sacred music out there, it's not. Okay, they got some crazy stuff going on there too. But let's be realistic, y'all. Is it as bad as the music industry here? Come on now. Far as the lyrics is concerned, far as the stuff they're doing on the stages with these satanic rituals, you think it's that bad? Come on, be realistic. I don't need to go into the detail of that. I believe the purpose is to further corrupt what still has some goodness in it. I don't think it's her just wanting to branch out and grow and mature as an artist. That could be argued, and I could understand that. But in my opinion, my personal opinion, I don't think that's the issue. Because once again, it comes down to, why was she dressed like that? This is all open, and you can see her breasts up in here, all open right here. Come on, man. And she has this thing, and she's faking that she got a gun. She shooting it. I mean, that could be some artistic expression right there. But would you dress like that and the camera horning in on her? It wasn't from a distance. At first, it was from a distance, and all of a sudden, the camera moved in close, and you could see it all. Really? Is that what that's about? I don't think so. I think that the purpose is to sexualize or oversaturate one of the last bastions, if you will, of semi-pure music. I think that's what it is. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. It's just my opinion based on my readings, on the extensive, intensive research of others who have studied the occult, and based on my observations. That's just my opinion. But that's why I wanted to do that video. What do you guys think about this Taylor Swift situation? You know, have you guys ever been to any of these concerts? I have not been to any of them. I don't really want to go to any of them, not because I think it's going to be something. That's not my thing. It never was my thing. But what do you guys think about this? You think it's accurate? Hey, what's your thoughts on it? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.